Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. I appreciate your patience this evening. You know, there is something incredible in this age of TV production style services that we are one of the congregations that continues to have live services every single week. And in fact, multiple times every single week. It is not always easy, but we have a great team who can solve just about any technological problem that arises. It would be much easier to pre-record every service, and I could kick up my heels and sit at home. And in fact, I know many rabbis who do that, some who are very open with their congregations, and some who you might be surprised to find out are not leading services live as you're watching, hopefully, other congregations from around the country. It is always a joy to be here. It is unusual for service to be starting so late. God has a funny way of showing appreciation for all that we do, but we are here, we are together, and that is what matters as we say Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach, Chag Urim Sameach. Today is the second night of Hanukkah. Many of you I know have already lit your candles at home, and I hope those of you have not who are waiting for me will light your candles with me. But first, let us join together in song. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom. If you're anything like me, if your life is anything like mine, this has been a crazy week. As we have entered Hanukkah, as we have entered the middle of the month of December, always a stressful time, and this year a stressful month of a stressful year. Although I had a very interesting conversation the other day with a fellow who said, this year it's actually kind of relaxing. We don't have to go to 100 parties. We don't have to, go to the office party and then the friends party and then the silly sweater party and the ugly sweater party. It's kind of relaxing for a December to be staying at home. It is not like the temple, sullied by improper use and then washed clean and restored to former glory. This house is tarnished by familiarity. Month after pandemic month, I've circled from bed to table to sofa to bed again. I no longer see the mezuzah on every doorframe. Tonight, with one tiny candle, I light another. I want their little flames to galvanize my hands to consecrate each room. I sweep flour from my kitchen, admiring here where I sing, affirming here where I sing to my challah is holy. So too the hallway where I hang coats and newly washed fabric masks to dry. The bedroom with its pile of quilts and rosemary plant in the window, struggling to make it until spring. God, we are all struggling to make it until spring. Help me make this house a place where hope keeps burning bright. And that was a a reading from, it's you can't actually read the name on here, but it does say that is a reading prepared by Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt, known online sometimes as the Velveteen Rabbi, who is an incredible poet and liturgist of our generation. Now we join together in lighting the Hanukkah lights. I hope that you will join with me on this, the second night of Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim hahem b'azman hazeh. And just as we light the Hanukkah candles, we always light the Hanukkah candles before Shabbat because we wouldn't want to be lighting new lights after we have already lit the Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitkhem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It is evening and children slowly dream away the storms of the day. It is evening and stars glow gently in the quiet heavens. Can we understand a dream? Find a net to capture the meaning of a glowing star? What bridge spans the vast space we must cross to reach understanding? How small are we who attempt the journey? And yet somehow we learn to find our glory in a brave and endless struggle to comprehend eternal mysteries. We are voyagers in an infinite sea, our destination always beyond the horizon, but we are voyagers. Lecha Dodi דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, ישמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם תפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, את אדוני תעריצי, על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. We rise as we turn toward the entrance of our holy space, this space which we have elevated above, which we have rededicated in this time of Hanukkah, of dedication, which we have made into a sacred space. No longer just a living room, a kitchen, a bedroom. This is a sacred space from which we pray and in which we have prepared ourselves and our holy space to welcome the Sabbath bride as we rise. Physically, if you're able, rising in your heart if it's difficult to physically rise, as we turn toward the entrance of our sacred space and join together. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה, בעלמא דברכי ולתביאמך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתברך ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירה בעלמא, ואמרו Amen. We rise again or remain standing as we turn now towards the east, toward our sacred connection between our ancestors and God, the place where Abraham and Sarah first made their permanent home, the place where Joshua re-entered in a sacred time to make the land once again our own, the place where the Maccabees, led by Mattathias, their father, and Judah Maccabee, the elder brother, arose to overthrow the chains of the Greeks, to once again reclaim our holy land of our people. And as we turn to face toward Yerushalayim, toward our holy city, towards where we sense the presence of God, we join together in the call to prayer. Baruch. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Vared, Le'olam Vared. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. This is an hour of change. Please be seated. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv ha'ravi. You keep loving us as you have always loved us, Adonai, our God. You impart to us Torah and mitzvot to know reality and justice. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we are to rest for the night, when we are to rise for the day, we will make your principles our conversation. That will give us steady joy as we talk Torah and plan to do mitzvot. This is what we live for. This is what keeps us going. Day and night we will ponder their meaning. Just keep on all along loving us. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohed Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vared. If it is your custom to remain standing through the Shema, you may be seated at this time. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol vavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך ובכבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You shall love Adonai your God with all, please join with me in the English. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, oseh pele, nora tehilot, oseh pele. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Eternal God, grant that we may lie down in peace, and let us rise up to life renewed. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Ushmor tzeteinu uvoenu lechaim ulshalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Please rise now in your home and in your heart as we once again turn east toward our historic homeland and our historic connection to God as we pray together the words of the Amidah. Adonai sefatai tiftahu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftahu fi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, bashalom. Ve'al hanisim ve'al hapurkan ve'al hagvurot ve'al hatshuvot. For the miracles and the wonders and for the mighty deeds and for the salvations. And I'm missing part of the prayer. You see, live services. Those of you who are praying from home and waiting for me to find the correct page, you can hum Ma'od Sur while you're waiting. I've got the page. It's on 556. If you've got your prayer book at home, you're probably shouting at the screen, Rabbi, it's on page 556. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Al hanisim ve'al hapurkan ve'al hagevurot ve'al hatshuvot ve'al המלחמות שעשיתי לאבותינו ואימותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. We thank you for the miracles, for the redemption, for the mighty deeds and saving acts brought about by you, and the wars which you waged for our ancestors of old at this season. In the days of the Hasmoneans, in the days of Mattathias, son of Yochanan the priest, the Hasmonean, and his sons, when the evil kingdom of Greece stood against your people in order to make them forget your Torah and violate your laws, you in your enormous mercy stood up for them in their time of great need, upheld their cause, judged their case, and avenged their oppressors. You delivered the mighty into the hands of the weak, the many into the hands of the few. It's a typo there. The impure into the hands of the pure, the wicked into the hands of the righteous, and the degenerates into the hands of those who cling to Torah. And you made for yourself a great and holy name in your world and performed a great salvation and a miracle for your people Israel. As you do today and afterward, your children came to the Holy of Holies in your house, and they cleansed your palace and purified your temple, and they kindled lights in the courtyard of your sanctuary, and they established these 8 days of Hanukkah to give thanks and to praise your great name. Baruch. We continue now in silent prayer. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו amen. I'm keeping the book close by just in case we end up needing it. There's Murphy's Law says that if something can go wrong, it will. This has been, it would be funny if it weren't so tragic, especially in a year that has been this difficult, in which we take a moment to pray. And I know for many of us, our prayers never leave our hearts, or never finish departing from our hearts, I should say. For all of our prayers leave our hearts and ascend to heaven and to the ears of God. We hope that God hears our prayers. When I was young, a rabbi once told me that God hears all prayers and God answers all prayers, but the answer is not always the answer we would like. On this Shabbat and at this holy time of celebration of Hanukkah, we ask for God's light to shine and God's warmth to cradle all of those who are in need of God's healing. We know that the world is so in need of healing right now. All of those who are ill, all of those who are caring for loved ones who are ill, all of those who are frontline healthcare workers, who are caring for others' loved ones who cannot physically be with them because of this time of pandemic, quarantine, and isolation. For all of those who put themselves at risk, all of those frontline workers who heal us, feed us, care for us, and provide for the necessities of our lives. For all of those who are suffering in a time of healing, of chronic health, of chronic physical pain, of chronic physical illness or disability, all of those who are suffering from chronic or recurring mental or emotional distress, all of those who are in need of spiritual healing, we ask for the presence of God to be with them. And we ask for, just as the light of Hanukkah is a light which emanates across the world, we ask for God's light to be with all of them around the world, including those of our armed services and those of our emergency responders who watch over us. We ask God to watch over them as well, and their families who miss them when they are away. At this time, we also especially ask for God's healing presence to be with Tal Hazon, Jacob Hazon, Meir Ben Esther, James Dutremaine, Yolanda Easley, Oscar Garcia, Yosef Ben Matilda, Kayla Ben Yaakov Micha, Robert Berlin, Tzchoni Bat Malka, Victoria Fishman, Ilan Bat Tzchoni, Alan Fishman, Ilanit Bat Ruth, Devorah Leah Bat Tzipa, and Jeff Gabriel. We ask for God's healing to be with all of those, and if you have names of your own that you would like to add, please do so at this time. If you know of anyone who is in our community whose name should be on this list, who should be included in our public prayer, please, please, please do reach out to me or to Maria during the week so that we can add their name to our list and our prayers as we pray to God for healing. Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength to bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May God's healing light come swiftly and soon to all those who are in need of their darkness being lifted, as we say together, Amen. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and in spirit. Amen. Parshat Vayeshev. You see on your screen, this is a very special menorah just for 2020. Leave the screen for just a moment. What is 2020 if not a dumpster fire? This is an artist recently posted this online, a very special menorah just for 2020. It is the shape of a dumpster that you literally light on fire in honor of this, shall we say, very special year. You can switch over and also give me a alt tab. Yeah. Oh, and unfortunately, the scrolling does not work on me. You see, if something can go wrong, it will. Let me take the keyboard. Yep, and it works. Okay, we got the clicker working. I'll give this back to you. Yeah, we should. It's been a very special year and a very special week. Of course, my week was not as hard as Joseph's week has been. I mean, Joseph, my goodness, he was a little bit of a jerk. Let's be honest. He's a little bit arrogant towards his brothers. Joseph in the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. You would think that speaking of Jacob, you would think that he would have learned after watching his parents play favorites. You'd think that he would have learned not to play favorites with his own children and turn them against each other. But of course, that's exactly, or at least part of what happens. He does play favorites. He does favor Joseph, his youngest, and or at the time. He later has an even younger son, Benjamin. And he does favor Joseph, who's much younger than his brothers. And yet, Joseph is also, he kind of rubs it in his brothers' faces that he's dad's favorite, that he's God's special one, that he has the special blessing, and all of his brothers are going to bow down to him. Yes, he ends up being right. That's in next week's Torah portion. But it's still not a nice thing to say. But even so, we all have a sibling, those of you who have siblings, who sometimes you just gets on your nerves. But I don't think any of us did or have done to our siblings. Being a younger sibling, I know I might have it coming sometimes, but not once has my sister ever thrown me into a pit and left me for dead. Not once has my sister ever tried to sell me into slavery, although one of you told me recently about your sibling trying to sell you. So I suppose it's always possible that it could happen, but usually none of you have sold a sibling into slavery, and that's exactly what happened to Joseph, who was thrown in a pit, left for dead. His brother said, well, maybe we shouldn't kill him. Let's just tell our dad he's dead. What a horrible thing to do. And we'll sell him, and then we get a little bit of money on the side as well. We get rid of our annoying brother, and we sell him off. That's not where his troubles end. He ends up getting bought, and he's such a good worker that he becomes the manager of the household, and the matron of the house, the woman of the house, ends up basically framing him for sexual harassment and getting him kicked out. And he's once again left in the wind. He ends up getting caught and going to prison. And by the way, he's not the only one who's having a rough week. Dina, this is not her worst week. She's had some rough weeks in the past. But this week is certainly no picnic for her either. Just trying to get some kind of legitimate recognition from her family. And, you've got, I'm sorry, Tamar, not Dina. Tamar does not have a picnic this week either, who is just trying to get some recognition from her family. And these two stories are paired together in what really adds up to a really lousy week. It's a lousy week in a lousy year. And with Hanukkah arriving, that's our signal, our shining light that this year might just be over. Like these two young people in this Torah portion, I think that young people especially are experiencing the troubles of this year in their lives even more acutely than parents or even grandparents. Which is why I found the following article from a college student writing about her experience. Looking to the future, reflecting on the past, a letter of goodbye to 2020. Dear 2020, goodbye. You have been a long year. Personally, I have felt your effects in my studies, in the way the holidays feel different, especially now around this time of year. While I cannot say that I've learned how to live on campus or deal with dining hall food, I can say that I've learned quite a few things somewhere within the eternity of your 12 months. One of the most important things that I've learned is to cherish the time I spend with others, as well as the amount of time I have with them. I think often of our lives before quarantine, the simple pleasures such as going to grab a coffee with a friend or settling in for a movie night. I realize now that I took this time for granted. Looking back, these simple pleasures are the times I cherish the most. I've also learned to appreciate the people around me, including myself. 2020, you have brought me face to face with my loved ones and brought challenges for us to overcome together. I now cherish my parents and appreciate their love and support more than ever before. I cherish my friends and their ability to make me laugh every day, no matter the circumstances. And most importantly, I have learned how to cherish myself. Spending months and months stuck in my home with only the company of myself and my immediate family, I've had ample time to work on the person I am and gain a little more appreciation for my body and mind. However, above all else, I've learned what it means to be empathetic toward others. Through inspiring movements and heavy losses, I've been given a glimpse into the struggles of people around me. I've not only learned to acknowledge the struggles of others, but feel and fight for them as well. Goodbye, 2020. Within the long months of quarantine, I have also found small things to be grateful for. Personally, I'm thankful for the shows, the movies, and music that I've discovered. I'm thankful for the creativity I have found in the world now that our doors are closed and our minds are open. I'm thankful for summer nights and sunny days, for the way the world has paused and let me improve upon myself. I'm grateful to see the world come together, to see how we as a nation and a world have begun to speak out for what is right, challenge predetermined norms, and push for something better. Although there is still an uphill battle waiting to be climbed and a middle ground waiting to be found, I am grateful for the humility I still find in the world every day. Overall, 2020, you have taught me how to look for the good hidden among the bad. Goodbye, 2020. Although there are parts of me that are grateful for what I have learned and what I have discovered, the largest part of me will not miss you, 2020. I will not miss the lowest days where I was stuck in my bed all day. I will not miss your divisive politics. I will not miss the pain you've caused the people I love, or the way you have driven a great distance between friends and family alike. I will not miss the goodbyes you have forced us to say or the losses that others have gone through. I will not miss the darkness of you, 2020, and the great pain that you have caused. I cannot speak for everyone, but I can say that we have all felt this year. We have felt the lows and the highs and everything in between. We will feel the impact of you long after you end, but we will learn to live beyond it and grow into something better. Goodbye, 2020. It is your time to end. Sincerely, a writer from the Clog, Isabella Carreno. Thank you, Isabella, for sharing these powerful words that I think we have all felt. Goodbye, 2020. We do have some announcements. Thank you. We do have some announcements this evening. We do have some simchas, some good news, some light in the darkness of this year. Happy birthday to Andrea Temkin. Her birthday was on the 5th. Happy birthday to Paula Fried, who was also on the 5th. Happy birthday to Ito Deutsch, our congregational president. I know it has been an incredible year, and we could not have asked for a better, more soft-spoken, better listening, more collaborative president than you. I hope that your birthday was a phenomenal one. I hope that you have recovered from the celebration of your birthday, Lord knows you have earned every bit of celebration this past year, and in this coming year, I hope you enjoy many more celebrations. I hope that they are celebrations of joy, uninterrupted from one to the next. I hope that you invoke and um, I hope that you may be blessed with God's presence in your life. I hope that you may be given God's blessing for a wonderful new year as you enter into this next year. Coming up this weekend, we do have Torah study tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., followed by Saturday morning services starting promptly at 10:30. Our religious school and Hebrew school will have a very special, before that, tomorrow evening, we have our outdoor menorah lighting and Hanukkah celebration that will be here, excuse me, here at the temple at 6 p.m. Tomorrow evening. It'll be an opportunity where you can come in your car, where you can pick up food from a food truck from a caterer who is providing latkes and all sorts of other barbecue goodies. Check your email that went out earlier today for the entire menu. And I'm salivating just thinking about it. We will have a candle lighting and celebration with music, live DJ. Anybody who is, for whatever reason, unable to make it here physically, you can also join us remotely by Zoom. But I hope that all of you who can make it here will make it here. We will be practicing social distancing, wearing masks, and you, of course, will always have the option to stay in your car during the entire service and still be present here. I know that I'm looking forward to it, and I know a lot of you are as well. It should be an event not to be missed. Following that, on Sunday morning, we have a very special Hanukkah craft for the kids. Come by on Saturday evening to the menorah lighting to pick up your kit for your craft on Sunday morning. You got that, parents? If you know any parents, call them, make sure that they know. If you've got friends who are not attending this service this evening, make sure they know. Come on Saturday, pick up the craft kit for your kids so that they can participate on Sunday in our Sunday school craft for a very special Sunday Hanukkah. Our high schoolers, I don't talk often about our high school program, but Karsten is here, and he's usually at the Hanukkah program on Sundays, where we meet all of the high school kids from 9th through 12th grade, meet every Sunday when there's Sunday school. And we've got another really special one for you this week, which will be the latke making, which Ike has generously offered his kitchen and potatoes and his culinary skill to offer a wonderful how-to. You should have already, if you haven't already been in contact with Claudia to get your supplies for making latkes, do that tonight or tomorrow. Make sure that you are ready for what's going to be a really incredible high school program. Sunday evening, we will have Introduction to Judaism. And Monday afternoon, or Monday at noon, I should say, we will have our December Lunch and Learn, as always, since at least since I've arrived in the middle of this pandemic. It will be bring your own lunch. It's all meeting virtually over Zoom. There will be no in-person version of the Lunch and Learn at this time, but we are still continuing the programming, still continuing to get together. This will be the true story of Hanukkah. You may never look at Hanukkah the same way. This is all of the scandalous details that you didn't learn in Hebrew school. Our high schoolers got a sneak preview. I tried to say sneak peek and sneak preview last week, and I think their minds were opened in a lot of new ways. So come on Monday. That will also be recorded. If you're not able to make it at lunchtime, you can always watch it afterwards. Our service continues now with Aleinu and Kaddish. Please rise for the Aleinu. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, מושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. There are stars up above so far away that we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways to remember. At this time, we remember those within our community who have died in recent weeks, including John Brown. We also remember those who have died in the past year, including Aaron Asensio, Roy Dale, Adalia Asensio, Antonio Diaz, Leon Wiernick, Myrna Levine, Charlene Hertz, Sergei Bernier, Eugenio Colon, Norma Rabinovich Shendelbat Avram Bafegi, and Rodrigo Diaz. We remember those whose yahrzeits occur at this time, including Leonard Croman and Sarah Gerwitz. If you know of any names that should be added to this list, or any of your own loved ones, you may say their name aloud at this time, or type it in the chat, or say it in your heart, and God will hear. If you are mourning, please rise and say the name of the person who you are remembering. And we as a congregation now rise with you. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chiroteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, b'chagala u'bizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach la'olam u'l'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithaдар v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kodesha barichu, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, to which we say, Amen. מעוז צור ישועתי, לך נאה לשבח, תיכון בית תפילתי, ושם תודה נזבח, ועת תכין מטבח, מצר המנבח. אז אגמור בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח. אז אגמור בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח. Rock of ages, let our song praise thy saving power. Thou amidst the raging foes wast our sheltering tower. Furiously they assailed us, but thine arm availed us, and thy word broke their sword when our own strength failed us. And thy word broke their sword when our own strength failed us. This is the perfect time to gather whatever you are enjoying for Kiddush, whether wine or grape juice or anything else that you're blessing for Kiddush. And I hope that you will stick around for our Oneg social following the service. Maybe share some pictures of your candles, pictures of your presents. And if you are sharing pictures online, there is a hashtag that we are using to help bring us together, to help bridge the distance over the course of this Hanukkah, even though we are physically separated and we can't get together to party, we can't get together for meals, we can't get together like we normally would, but we can still be together across the distance by sharing pictures. Use the hashtag TELights2020 that will let you join all of your Hanukkah posts, your candles, your presents, your latkes, your family gatherings into our hashtag so that we can see those all together. If you don't know how to use a hashtag, it's very easy. You just type out # or hashtag, as the kids call it. TE. It's a #. That's what it used to be called. Oh, you call it a #. Okay. Apparently, some of the young folks also call it a #. And then TE for Temple Emanuel, Lights 2020. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you've given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon, הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים. You can share your Hanukkah lights. Use the hashtag TELights2020 so that all of our Hanukkah pictures can be seen in one place. You can use this on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I think that's all of the social medias that use hashtags. I don't know. If you know of any others, use this hashtag anyway. Who knows? Maybe you'll find someone else who's on social media with you. But for sure, you can look on Facebook. You can look up this hashtag, add it anywhere in the text of your post, and it will show up in one list that we can enjoy together. If you have any questions, if you have any requests, you can always reach out to me. My email and phone number are on the slide there. Stick around for the Oneg Social starting right now.